What's up? It's Todd Guy, the Thrashing Zombie. Welcome. This is a contest entry for Chris Propfe, Musically Obsessed. He calls it his, what's it called? The Vinyl Community Contest 2021. It's not a milestone or anything. He just wants to do a contest for the vinyl community to celebrate it. So that's what he's doing. You can win a $30 gift card to either Amazon or $30 through PayPal. And typical rules. You know, you gotta be subscribed to his channel. You gotta make a video. I think that's it. He has 5 questions. Not really questions. 5 things for us to do. The first one is show an album from 1974. So 1974. Did I pull that out? I did. Here it is. Bad Company's first album, self-titled. A few others I could have picked, but I wanted to go a little different from what I normally do. It's got the song Bad Company on it, which is a great tune, covered by Five Finger Death Punch, I think. Whatever. This guy Can't Get Enough and Rock Steady. Don't Let Me Down it's on here. Moving on. I mean, it's just a great album. It's hard rock. I mean, probably not back in the day. It probably wasn't considered hard rock. It's probably just rock. But it's pretty heavy in some areas. So, I mean, it's a really great fucking album. I want to say it's probably one of their heavier albums. In my opinion, anyway. But, yeah, Bad Company's first album. 1974. 1974, the reason for that is that's the year he was born. He was born in 1974. I'm going to show an album from 1988. The significance to that is he was 14 in 1988, and that's when he said he was starting to really get into music. Yeah, I think around when I was 14, I was 14 in 1987. That's probably around the time I started learning what kind of music I wanted, and I started feeling the music. And again, I don't think I've even shown this album. This might be the only album I've never shown, but I could be wrong. I don't remember. Because the thing with this album, I bought it, and it was warped, and it wouldn't play properly. And I just kind of shoved it aside, said, whatever, I'll never be able to play it. Until my wife bought me a vinyl flat for Christmas. And I stuck it in the vinyl flat, and now it plays. It's still not 100% flat, but it's able to play without skipping, which is good. And that would be Killer Dwarfs. Big Deal. This is their second or third album. Yes, their third album. Between Stand Tall and Dirty Weapons. I'm not sure if I actually listened to this whole thing after I flattened it, but I can't remember the songs on here. But the back's all, I don't know what happened. I can actually feel all these things, like somebody took a knife or something and kind of scratched it up. But the vinyl itself's in pretty good shape. It's not really scratched or anything. So, like I said, it was warped. Now it's not perfectly flat, but it's flatter than it was, and it plays. So Killer Dwarfs, Big Deal from 1988. All right. Number 3 is show 3 important albums from your collection. It can be important for any reason to you, to me. So these 3 are important. Let's start with this one. This is Metallica's And Justice for All. Similar to Chris Propfe's, if you watched his contest entry for his own contest, he showed Metallica's Ride the Lightning. He said that was the album that got him into heavier music. Same reason for this. this is the first Metallica album I heard was Injustice for All. Because at the time I was listening, and I think I mentioned this a couple times before in other videos, I was listening to mostly hair metal, glam metal, whatever you want to call that. And I saw this in the store, and it was like #1 on the wall for sales that week or something. I forgot exactly what it was, but it was #1 for something. And it looked interesting, and I bought the cassette tape and I brought it home. And first listened to, I wasn't sure I liked it. Second time listening to it through, and then it just clicked. I was like, wow, I like this. And I started looking for heavier music after this album. What is there to say about this? Everybody knows this album. Song 1 was like a huge hit. Sent them into like mainstream because the first video they made was for 1. This also may have been their downfall into mainstream with Load and Reload. Black Album being like the catalyst, but this one I'm talking too much, so that's important. And then this one, Entombed Clandestine, same reason for as the Metallica one. This got me to even heavier music. This was like nothing I'd ever heard. Buzzsaw guitars, like growling vocals, speed, and just like brutality in the music. It was amazing. And I looked for even heavier music after this. So Entombed Clandestine. And this one is a personal, this Tesla's great radio controversy. This is important to me on a personal level. This one is back to a time when everything seemed great. A great time in my life during high school, hanging out with friends, driving around with a bunch of people in the car, blaring this album, most notably the song Paradise, but the rest of the album as well. The time when I thought it couldn't get any better. It's stuck with me all these years. Even after everything fell apart, this is still one of my favorite albums of all time. No matter what happened with it at the time where this was involved, But it just reminds me of a better time. So, Tesla. I also own this on cassette and CD. And I stream it once a month or so. I can't play the record or the cassette or anything. There's that. Number 4, show you the inner and outer sleeves you use. Well, the ones I generally use, they're out. I buy outer sleeves from Sleeve City, the resealable ones with the adhesive on this part, not the flap, so it doesn't get stuck to the record. They're clear. I think they're 3mm. They're very nice. I don't know if I have. It's these. I think they're 3mm. They're crystal clear, nice looking. But they've been out, and they're not going to get any back until October, it says. So I had to go buy some. I can't find any other ones that are resealable that I like, that got like really good reviews. And I really like the Sleeve City ones. So I got these ones from Bags Unlimited, from the Newberry Comics, my local record store. Well, pop culture store, basically. This is like the normal ones. They're kind of hazy. I mean, they work. It's not like I'm displaying them for people to see anyway. It's just there for protection. So, I mean, they work okay. And they're, so yeah, how much they work? $20 for 100, I think. I think they work well enough. Same with these. I usually I was doing mo-fis. These are mo-fis, inner sleeves. I use these. I was using a different brand. I forget what the brand was, which is comparable to these. They're cheaper for the same amount because you weren't paying for the name, and they work just fine. Might even be what's in here. Nope, it's not. Lo-fi. Oh yeah, invest in vinyl is what I usually buy. They're comparable to the mo-fis. They're just about the same thing, so I use those usually. But yeah, that's what I normally use. And then the last question: how long have you been a VC member? Well, I started making videos in March 2nd, 2019. So, a couple years. Yeah, a little over 2 years. Probably about the same time Chris Propfe started, actually. Yeah. My channel's moving a lot slower, though. So, which is fine. I'll get there. 10, 12 years. Anyway, there's the contest. Thank you for putting this contest on, Chris Propfe, Musically Obsessed. Yeah. Good luck to everybody. Till next time, rock on.